Hey guys, today we're going to talk about two actual rebuildables. I've showed you the video about my steam turbine before, but now today I'm going to show you the video on the AGA-T 2. Good little Pyrex tank. Kind of really hard to build on both. We'll get to that. And the other one I'm going to show you on is the cheap and lovely RSST. And I have drilled both of these holes out. Just letting you know ahead of time, single coil versus AGA-T's a dual coil. So here we go. I guess we'll start with the RSSTs. It's the cheapest. And that's kind of what I circle around. We'll pull this apart real quick. Okay. So for this, I am using my old trusty Tesla. It's only 30 amps. Same old. Nothing different. Trying to keep it stock and simple. I'm not mixing it up. So, kind of explain what's going on with the RSST. It is RTA, the tank atomizer, and it does have an adjustable pin on it. You can see that on there, the springy pin. It's actually really helpful. It makes it sit nice and flush. You know, kind of eliminating that gap. So, in case you do leak, with the unfortunate part of the Tesla, is the battery air holes are on the top. I know it's terrible build. You judge me all day long, but I like it. It's my Tesla. It works good for me. But with that tank sitting flush on there, it's actually eliminating that gap so that if I do leak a little bit of liquid, it's not getting down my air holes and ruining my batteries. So I do like that quite a lot about it. For both of these, I am using organic cotton that I have taken and fluffed. Anyone can do that. That's cheap and easy. Just boil some water, toss the cotton in there, let it simmer for a second, then pull it out, let it dry out. You could use a microwave if you want. I choose not to. Just let it air dry. It actually makes it a little bit better. Microwave, if you do a little too much, will actually end up scorching your cotton a little bit, which is not fun, especially because it smells like garbage. So I guess just explain this little wrap to you real quick. It's simple. Pull it apart and shut it there. Really can't see that because my camera is terrible quality. But it is a 3 on the outside, 2 on the inside. And that's just my favorite wrap. I know what it comes out to every time, and I'll put it on a home maker and waste my time with that. So, let's show you the fakes real quick. By the way, almost all of these things I've gotten from Luxor Vapors in Texas. Good stuff. Good people. So as you can see, it puts out a pretty good cloud, and it is a microcoil. I couldn't really find justice to myself wrapping a regular coil on this because, well, let's be honest, it would put out way too much for this thing to handle. It'd heat up too much. It's uncomfortable at that point. So it's a good setup. I like it quite a lot. It's not my favorite, but then again, it's only $30. And, you know, you can't beat that for a good starter rebuildable. So there's a lot of people coming in here right now, and it is getting kind of loud. So just using the tip I came with, little base tip. Of course, with their hole out, you finish what I always do. It's weird. So, I mean, there's really not a lot going on in this thing. You know, when it comes to simplicity, this hits it on the nail. It's got a fill hole, you've got a negative post, you've got an adjustable positive post. That's it. That's all you need. You know, just to wrap a good little coil. If you want, this top is actually very thin. You know, I say thin in a reasonable placement. It's not thin enough that it'll break. But it's thin enough where if you wanted, you could pop another hole in there and make you a little dual coil setup. The wrapping on that would be kind of hard unless you can set you up another positive post too, so you may have to drill 2 holes. But if you don't want to, or not another positive post, I'm sorry, another negative post. It is really good. Single coils all day long. Easy to build. You know, you get used to it after a while. The adjustable post does have a little washer on there. that is kind of, can't really see it too much because I can't all the way. But it's got a little washer on it. That little washer is designed to grab that canthaw. That kind of gets annoying from time to time because the screw is actually a rounded screw. I know it's super dumb of them to do. They should just put a Conda screw on there, but what are you gonna do? It's cheap. You know, I'm sure they didn't spend any more than $5 on this tank. Not even, probably 10, like maybe $1, $2. So they're making profit off of it. But hopefully, Smok does this enough, they'll give us better products than they have with the Smok Turbo and the Smok Magneto and things like that. So I guess give it one little rip because I actually really like this flavoring. It's not my flavor. It's actually a flavor from Andy, who's been lovely enough to donate me his AGA-T so I can do this video. So, yeah, what's out? Good flavor, good vapor. You know, it's a quality little product. I like it a lot. So now I'm going to switch over to the AGA-T. This is where things get a little bit complicated. So for all you people out there that own an AGA-T, you'll understand when I say it is very difficult to wrap on. And all the people watching that have an AGA-T definitely know what I'm talking about. Because look at all that stuff going on. It's just too much, man. You know, I don't really know what they were thinking. But I've heard a lot that, oh, you know, the 3 bolts or the 3 nut system is really complicated. My nuts keep wearing out on me. That sounds really funny, by the way. So it's a good laugh if you want it. I don't like it, honestly. It's cool, I guess, if you really like duals and quads, but anything else, it's just not my cup of tea. Again, I'm using a cotton setup on this. Dual wick cotton. Using my cotton as a wick this time. I'm not using mesh. Actually draws way better than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be a little bit trashy. I was going to have some issues with it. But I don't. So, I mean, it's not the best setup I could have put on this. I definitely could have made a better setup on this, but I kind of just built it on the fly. You know, they're just little squeezed 4 wraps. That's all they are. 2 of them are right next to each other. So my air hole, I don't have to bore another air hole, and my air hole touch both of them. Especially if I put it at an angle, I can get a sweet little circular draw on there. It's awesome. So, I mean, if you can see it here, yeah, you can't see it. It's a 3 nut system. The 3 nut system is designed so that you could put 2 pieces of canthaw on there and you're not getting hot legs from it. So you can actually put 1 piece of canthaw between the 2 top screws and another piece of canthaw between the 2 bottom screws. So it's convenient, I guess. But, you know, right now I do have them separated like that. It helps, honestly. It really does help. But my thing with AGA-T, with this AGA-T, the AGA-T 2, is I think they built it with leftover parts from previous AGA-Ts. Because I just kind of looking around, that can't really see it, but that negative post right there, the tall one with the top screw, actually comes from the AGA-S, which is really good. It's a tiny little thing, but it produces, and I will do a video on that later about the AGA-S. I do have one of those, so that's a really good tank, in a weird sense of the word, tank. And I'll show you what I mean by that when I get to it. So that came from the AGA-S. We know that. That center actually came from the original AGA-T, the old school AGA-T, not the AGA-T that we know. The old school AGA-T, the old one. And then the negative posts, obviously just a negative post for anything. But it's all different parts, just like a part bin. Essentially, the glass honestly looks a lot like the glass from a Pro tank, which is weird because it's a Kangaroo product. But you can't pull that glass apart. Now, the other cool thing about it is that, and I say other cool thing, there's some cool things about it. I mean, you know, top cap is cool. It fits on there really snug. So no issues there. But that tank actually has silicone on the inside of it that keeps, so if you shove your stainless steel cable down there, if you're a big stainless steel cable nut, you're not completely crushing it. You know, you're still putting that in there so you pull it out really easy. And then also, if you're a big mesh fan, it won't short it out. You know, if you put your mesh in there, you're not going to burn up your coils all day long, so you can actually just use straight mesh. But other than that, it's really cool. Let's see how she waves. Fire on me. Got really quiet. So, it does vape really good. I got a little bit of liquid in my mouth, but that's just probably from the coil setup. This thing's really good. It has a huge tank on it. I mean, a massive tank on it. So that's really beneficial if you want to walk about all day with this thing. But other than that, I'm using same old drip tip, same old Tesla, same old batteries. So, I mean, if I had to make a recommendation between the two, I really can't, because RSST is good if you like cheap things, if you like things that work well, that are reliable, that are not going to fall apart on you. But if you're into more complex setups, you know, more micro coils and nano coils on RTs and things like that, it is really beneficial to have the AGA-T because there's so many different options with it. But if I had to pick between all of them, I'm going to go Steam Turbine because, hell, it's better. It's, you know, it's cheap. I say cheap in a relative sense. The clones are cheap, but it's good. It's out good cloud. It's out good vapor. And also, in one of my later videos, I'm going to be covering how to wrap coils using used candle. So I've actually found a pretty cheap and easy way to recover your candle. So for all you people out there that are snowed in by the storm up north, it's going to be really beneficial for you. So, in case you're traveling to other places where you don't know how to do it, you know, I say don't do it. We do not have to find Canthol, because there are a lot of places where Canthol is actually ridiculously hard to find. The trip out to Arizona will do that for you. So it's really hard to find. Mexico, of course, doesn't have Canthol at all. I mean, they've got Canthol, just gotta know where to go. But reusing Canthol is really important. So when I get around to it, probably sometime later today, maybe tomorrow, I will do a video on how to reuse your Canthol, how to pull it off the coil, clean it, straighten it back out. That's the hard part, and get it back to normal. So that's going to conclude for today. Remember, any questions, any pointers, let me know. Post it down in the comments. I will be reading this every single day. So that's it for today, guys. Have a good one.